Hey, thank you so much for tuning in to a new episode of Cut to Movies with Vivek and Viru. Just before we dive in, we'd like to give you a disclaimer that this episode is filled with spoilers. So please do watch the film first, unless, of course, you don't have an issue with spoilers, in which case.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Cut 2 with Vivek and Viru. And today we are in France with an adult animated feature. It doesn't have any adult themes, but it's an animated feature for adults. Vivek, tell us about it.
Directed by Jeremy Clapin, I Lost My Body is a 2019 film presented from the perspective of a dismembered hand, recollecting its owner's life. It's a story about the ups and downs of life, and no matter how impossible it appears to overcome a terrible moment, like losing loved ones, as we would see in the film, it is possible to eventually move past it. This movie has been adapted from the book Happy Hand by Guillaume Laurent. I hope I get his pronunciation correct, who is an Oscar nominee for his writing on that other film called Amélie. I Lost My Body is the first ever animated film to have won the Critics' Grand Jury Prize at Cannes and was nominated in the Best Animated Feature category at the Oscars as well. Yeah, Viru, what do you think?
Frankly, I had lost interest in watching animated features. Last few films जो भी मैंने देखा ना, I was like dozing off in between. I used to love animated films. But तो ये भी मैं चालू किया with some apprehension, but I loved the film. Initially, थोड़ा मेरे को ऐसा लगा कि it's taking some time to like pick up steam. But when it did, I absolutely was sucked into the world, and I kind of loved it. बहुत सही लगा मेरे को. What about you?
Yeah, same experience with animated films. World has been dominated by the Pixar films of the world. So just kind of watched those, and I remember seeing this film on the Netflix. It has been on the Netflix radar for quite some time.
Right.
But I did not watch it. I did not kind of click on it and watch it. But the moment you said that ye dekhte hain, I was like, theek hai, it's a good opportunity to kind of go in and watch, because a lot of times what happens is that even the Cannes or the animated feature of the Oscars turn out to be, those commercial tropes that we perhaps watch.
Nee, all these Pixar films have the same theme, right? The underdog who comes out and wins. It's basically the same storyline with a different character, बस और कुछ नहीं.
Right. But when I kind of watched this film, it was amazing. Matlab, yeah, it was very slow. It took its own time, and I felt like it was almost like a day. You know how a day passes if you're not doing anything and you are kind of experiencing the motions of the day.
Right.
It was that kind of feeling that I kind of got while I was watching it.
अरे एक तो देखा तो a few films that I reminded me of was like वो Persepolis करके जो film था ना.
It was a book, right? Persepolis.
हाँ.
Correct.
मतलब वो देखकर जैसे it's not like a normal animated feature, and and basically it couldn't have been made any other way because of that whole reanimation of the hand kind of a thing, the hand going to meet its body. जो वो है, I don't think live action में वो कर पाते, and this was a way to do it. You are amazed by the fact that how they have animated the hand and how you can feel it emote, right? मतलब उसका apprehension just with the movement of the hand, it's so difficult. But वो animation से वो कितना वो beautifully किया है कि भाई वो ऐसे लगता है अच्छा, it's now a little scared, or it is right now happy, or whatever, it needs a caress or whatever. जो भी उसका जो इमोशंस है हैंड्स का, वो क्या ब्यूटीफुली इन सीक्वेंसेस दिखाया है. एंड ऑफ कोर्स द अदर बॉडी का जो टाइमलाइन है, जो ये क्या बोलते हैं, इसमें चलता है, फ्लैशबैक्स में चलता है, that also picks up a little bit of steam in some of the extremely memorable scenes. तेको कौन से अच्छे लगे इसमें?
My favorite scene, there's not it's not a scene, but it's like that entire moment in the film which was the climax where
अच्छा.
the girl Gabriel is listening to the recording that Noufel
Oh,
had, he's re-recorded of the fateful night of the accident. He's re-recorded it of him taking that leap of faith,
right.
and he jumps on the crane, right?
Hmm.
I thought that part, the entire part, was a good culmination. It brings that entire purpose of the story with finally that hand reaching the destination where he finally finds his
Hmm.
body. But it
Hmm.
fails to attach itself, almost as if the body is now of a different person altogether, because he's no more the
Correct.
older now fell. Now he's kind of taken that leap of faith. So I think that entire climax, maybe the
Hmm.
climax sequence, I think was my favorite of
अच्छा.
the entire film.
तो वही I kind of loved a couple of sequences. एक तो मेरे को वो मेट्रो सीक्वेंस है जहाँ पे वो जाता है और वो गिर जाता है एंड
Ah,
द रैट्स पुल इट इन.
right.
एंड वो वाला सीक्वेंस मेरे को बहुत सही लगा एंड यू स्टार्ट फीलिंग कि क्या होने वाला है, हाउ विल द हैंड सेव इटसेल्फ
Yeah.
व्हेन इट हैज नथिंग एल्स. इनफैक्ट वो हैंड का वो भी होता है जो सीक्वेंस जिसमें वो अम्ब्रेला लेके जंप मार लेता है
Yeah. Yeah.
बिल्डिंग से, वो भी मेरे को बहुत सही लगा था. बट वन वन सीन दैट काइंड ऑफ सक्ड मी इनटू द स्टोरी ना, मतलब उसके पहले आई वाज लाइक ओके ड्रिफ्टिंग इन एंड आउट ऑफ इट एंड
Hmm.
ये वो जो वो पिज्जा डिलीवरी के लिए पहुंचता है एंड देयर इज दिस कॉन्वर्जेशन.
Between him and Gabriel.
हाँ,
Uh,
बिटवीन हिम एंड गैब्रियल, वो वाला सीक्वेंस मेरे को बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा लगा.
hmm.
आई वाज लाइक इंट्रीग्ड बाय दैट कैरेक्टर हु वाज देयर, गैब्रियल. और
Hmm.
फिर ये बंदा उससे क्या क्या बात कर रहा है एंड फिर उसको वो पूछता है कि व्हेन यू लुक आउट ऑफ दैट अपार्टमेंट एंड व्हाट डू यू सी एंड शी सेज डार्कनेस एंड
Right.
व्हाटएवर नथिंग.
Yeah.
एंड ही इज लाइक विश आई कुड डू दैट बिकॉज उसको मतलब हिज लाइफ इज ऑलवेज लाइक कैकोफोनस एंड
Yeah.
पांच एक छोटे से रूम में रहना है एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट, राइट. तो उसको वो टू बी विथ हिमसेल्फ वो कभी मिला ही नहीं है. और
Hmm.
तो वो इमेजिन करता है कि अगर ऐसा होता तो मैं कैसा, मेरे को कैसा लगता. वहां से मेरे को स्टोरी बहुत अच्छे लगने लगी.
Huh.
इनफैक्ट आई लव दैट सीक्वेंस एंड आई आल्सो वांटेड टू नो अभी व्हाट विल ही डू नेक्स्ट. या तो ऑफ कोर्स ही मेक्स अ वेरी क्रीप मूव. Stalks the girl and all of that.
Like you said to me, also what was most impressive is that exact dual tonality.
हाँ.
Is where the emotion was so brutal at times. Like you were saying, the hand in the subway where the rats were trying to attack, or where the hand cracks the neck of the pigeon, right?
हाँ.
And those were quite horrifying scenes, to be
Right.
fair. But on the other hand, this entire storyline of him and Gabriel, or him trying to find that meaning in his own life, was
Hmm.
so melancholic, was so heartwarming, and all the metaphors kind of coming together in the end.
Right.
That duality of the film also was quite very like the hand, the entire portion of the hand was very like thoda extreme,
Hmm.
thoda gory, thoda sa.
Hmm.
But his story, the body story, trying to find meaning in his life while trying to move on, was very melancholic and very kind of
Right.
heartwarming. I really like that bit as well, how he balanced it, because it was
Hmm.
cutting between the two, you know. So
Yeah.
nowhere it seemed like a jump or anything, but it still kind of delivered that emotion really well. मतलब ये
Hmm.
फिल्म देखने के बाद ऐसे कंटेंट वाली फील आई कि
फीलिंग आती है. हाँ.
हाँ, कि मजा आ गया ऐसी फिल्म देख के.
हाँ. ये मेरे को, लेकिन आई वाज काइंड ऑफ ट्राइंग टू इमेजिन व्हाई दिस हैंड, लाइक इट कुड हैव बीन अ
हम्म.
नॉर्मल स्टोरी लाइन, राइट. कि भाई उसका वो स्टोरी अगर दिखाते हैं कि हाउ he kind of lost his parents, and it reminded me of the last film that we saw,
Which is
जिसमें again the kid distracts the parent and there is an accident. Titan.
oh Titan,
Titan
right.
में भी the kid is
हाँ हाँ,
kind of
करेक्ट करेक्ट करेक्ट.
distracting the parent and उसके बाद एक्सीडेंट हो जाता है. यहाँ पे भी वही
Yes.
होता है, but here
Yes.
unfortunately his parents die. But फिर
Yeah.
भी मतलब अगर वो hand नहीं होता तो क्या difference होता? I was trying to kind of figure, and why the hand and why the whole metaphorical thing. Of course it is based on Happy Hand, right? It's a novel
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
हाँ, उसके ऊपर based है. and so it came from there.
Hmm.
But फिर भी मैं ऐसा I was trying to imagine why, like how does it help. So उसके बाद like I kind of read some perspectives,
Uh,
and then I got the whole fact that how this severed hand is like a metaphor for his life itself. Like the hand losing the body is like the Noufel losing his parents, and
hmm.
not having the whole like ecosystem to actually show him the way,
Hmm.
and him trying to find his way in that world. So
Hmm.
I mean that was one of the perspectives. The fact that he used that hand also helped because like you were saying, एक वो जो storyline है वो जो melancholic है,
Hmm.
but the hand gives the director and the film the leeway to make it a little more fun or
Right.
action oriented, या
Right.
जैसे बोला गोरी, वो सब जो फ्लेवर्स है वो सब वो हाथ की वजह से आता है उसमें.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like you were saying, वो end में it ties in together. Like what the thing is, when he moves on from the fact that तो उसका पूरा होता है लाइफ में कि there is this destiny that is written for me, और फिर वो बाद में he takes a leap of faith from that building, and now he's writing his next like chapter.
Yeah.
तभी वो hand also is, it kind of disappears or goes away in the end when
Yeah.
so realizes कि ठीक है, now it should also move on
Yeah.
from.
Would have gone and fed itself to the rats.
Ah. Yeah, it would be like traveling to Jamaica or some other places just to chill.
Yeah, but a great experience. I think everyone should kind of watch this film. It's not that long as well. I think it's just 1 hour 40 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, it's a great experience. And of course, it is available on Netflix. So yeah, anyone can watch it.
Yeah.
It's a nice film. Like I said, adult animated features ऐसे बहुत कम बोलते हैं, where there are so beautiful stories to be said. The last two films, I think मेरे को जो ये ऐसे लगे थे, Persepolis was like long time back. तो
Hmm.
I think last two मेरे को जो बहुत अच्छे लगे थे वो थे वेस एंडरसन के दो फिल्म थे, which are
Okay.
animated, which is like Fantastic Mr. Fox and
Yeah.
The Isle of Dogs.
Right.
ये दो मेरे को मतलब याद है. उसके अलावा ऑफ कोर्स वी वॉच्ड दैट फिल्म, द एनिमे फिल्म्स व्हिच आर
Of course. Yeah. Paprika.
crazy. Paprika and the other films that I've watched, but yeah, उसको छोड़ के द नॉर्मल ये पिक्सार जो आते रहता है उससे तो मैं completely बोर हो गया हूँ. तो I would want more storytellers to come and showcase beautiful tales with animation. यार,
Yeah.
it gives you that whole वो fantastical feeling, वो जो you can elevate and go to like some other zones, and tell stories which can't be told in like live action. So वो करना चाहिए. Why
100%.
should animation only be used for kids or young adults, right?
Yeah, and Pixar also claims to have animated movies that are for adults, but matlab, I'm tired of Pixar's perfection. Like I liked some of the frames in this. It looked like sketchy. It looked a little
I mean, the
jumpy.
animation style itself was so interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So those kind of people should kind of come forward and showcase like different types of animation. Pixar is like now almost real like animation that they kind of showcase.
Cool. So yeah, do let us know in case you watched this film, or and what are your perspectives on it? Is there another hidden meaning to it? Just let us know. And
Yeah.
ऐसे कोई और एनिमेशन फिल्म्स बताओ यार जो हम लोग देखे, which are not the usual staple from Pixar.
Yeah, and don't
You'd
say
love to watch
Batman.
it.
For a lot of
Huh?
people, Batman is an animated film.
Oh हाँ, that is separate. So वो I mean DC का जो animated films आता है, those are much better than the DC normal films that come out,
Absolutely.
live action films. तो वो तो मैं देखते रहता हूँ. Those are like full action. That is time pass. That is just those I like. Yeah, so do let us know your thoughts, and of course follow us and follow our channels And do give us a shout out and do comment on our Instagram channel sometime and let us know some films. And if you tell us a good film to watch, we might just invite you, and actually we will invite you for that
Yeah,
show as well.
100%. 100%.
All right. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye.